universities glorify communism? What is your plan to educate our college students?
That's a great question. So I've been already at different colleges campus on my in my district. So I've been addressing the socialism question, and I asked them first. I want to address the educational system, and I asked them, "Do you guys take courses that doesn't pertain to your major?" All of them raise their hand, and
Mm-hmm.
I go, "Exactly. Your education is rigged."
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care wasting your time and
Mm-hmm.
wasting your money.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm proposing 2 year
Mm-hmm.
college, get all the classes you need,
Mm-hmm.
and then get out and get a job or whatever you need. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're just feeding those
Mm-hmm.
educator, a big paycheck basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, why you are completely in debt forever. And then the other thing is, I have a question for you guys. Why do you guys like the AOC?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, she stand for something. She's, doing something for the Green New Deal, blah, blah, blah. And I go, you know what? Do you know what the Green New Deal that, well, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys like your hamburger? And they're like, yeah, we love our meat. And I go, yes, I do too. And I go, do you guys like to travel around the world to Paris and visit other places? And they say, yes. I go, exactly, I do too. But with the Green New Deal, basically it's taking you backwards. You cannot fly, you cannot eat your meat because they think cow farting is actually, releasing too much CO2 and it's going to kill all of us. And not only that, but with the airplane, it's too much, pollution. And the thing is that I'm like, this is just crazy. This is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go, as a Republican, I know me personally believe that you guys want to be responsible adults, and the whole
Mm-hmm.
socialism push to pay all your debts doesn't help your responsibility as an adult. And what we need to do is target the higher education, the loan company,
Mm-hmm.
because they shouldn't charge you 20%, 15%. You guys are an investment in the
Mm-hmm.
future. It should be like a home loan,
Mm-hmm.
between 3 to 4, percent. And that's how it should be, and they shouldn't take advantage of you. And then the other thing is, I go, as Republican, we have a lot of good issue and platform that we can stand on and present,
Mm-hmm.
where the younger generation can jump on board, because the younger generation, the college age, they're saying, I just want to be part of something.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good heart. I want to do something for for
Mm-hmm.
society. And that's what the Democrat has capitalized
Mm-hmm.
on and reach the younger generation with their heart issue to have them follow them. So as Republican, that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
missing. As a GOP, we need to target the younger
Mm-hmm.
generation. If we don't address them, we don't fill the void that's going on in their lives and address it, we're going to lose that whole generation of future Republicans.
I completely agree.
And so that's what we need to do. And that's the failure within the
Mm-hmm.
GOP. As I mentioned earlier, the California GOP is completely broken.
Mm-hmm.
Our system here is so bad, and the leadership isn't doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, okay, we have ballot harvesting, we have the college student, loans, we have the college age student. How are we reaching them? How are we raising
Mm-hmm.
up the next generation to take to run for office? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, as a delegate for the California GOP, they have never asked us
Mm-hmm.
to look for other leaders and train them up for this
Mm-hmm.
2020 election.
Well, that's something that I've been actually kind of hammering about down here in South Orange County.
Hmm.
If you go out to uh, Eastern California, it's really, and it's a very prominent activity that Democrats will set up the younger generation for success. So
Hmm.
um, they will start on a commission for a city, and then
Hmm.
they'll move to a county commission, then they'll run for
Hmm.
city council, and then before you
Exactly.
know that person's running for state assembly or state senate or a statewide elected office. And Republicans need to do the same thing too.
You know
I've
what?
been really upset that they've just failed to start electing young people, and I know that they've maybe finally started to come around to it. Like maybe Tara Campbell is a great example of a youngster that's been able to kind of break through the fuzz, and now we got our own Ben Chapman
Mhm.
who will be able to break through the fuzz. But like, come on, like Is that it? Are we two and done? Or are we gonna get some more? I think there's a whole bunch
Yeah.
of 25 to 35-year-olds that we need to start setting up for success, and that means appointing them to those commissions, and
Mm-hmm.
you mean like giving them the hand up to be able to progress into that city council seat, into that state assembly seat, into that Congress seat. I'm
Exactly.
tired of us losing and then scratching our heads later and wondering how we lost. It's been going on for years, and I call it probing. It's where they put in a candidate into a district that will not be red that election, but they want to see how well a good candidate will do against an average candidate that nobody's challenged before.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It's going to happen here in 73. It's going to happen in Assembly District 74. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen in Assembly District 72. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. Going to happen here in 45. And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Now we have Katie Porter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I
You got-
completely agree with you.
You swap mics.
The thing is that, I think the GOP in California thinks that they
Mhm.
still have the power.
Mhm.
But look, the Democrat leadership in the last 45 years in California, they are the supermajority.
Mhm.
We, as Republican GOP, do not have the power.
Yeah.
If they want to continue to have the power as a GOP, they must get off their lazy butt and start doing the job for the people, for the Republican Party. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm talking to the top, okay? All of you guys, you have your title. I'm challenging Jessica. I'm challenging Sean Steele. I'm challenging all of them. Every chair, okay, in every county in California, Phil Whitaker, Fred Whitaker, all of you guys. I'm challenged you guys. If you want the power back, you must. I know you are our leader. You must rise up for the occasion and train the people, address ballot harvesting, address, the younger generation and how to train them for different running for other office in 2 more years. 2020 is going to be done very soon. So it's time that we raise them up for 2022.
Mhm.
I'm sick and tired of the Democrat taking seats after seats. And we're just sitting on the fence, being on the safe. And I'm sick and tired of it. And you know what the thing, like I said earlier, it's going to be on us as Republicans. If we lose 2020, it's on us. No one else to blame but except for us, the GOP. So it's time that you rise up, get the job done, get your lazy butt off of there, and stop having a wine and a social club. Okay? I'm sick and tired of that. Get the job done. Not only that, but the people, I'm speaking out loud for the people of California. All of them are feeling this, okay? That's the reason why the GOP is not getting a lot of donation in, okay? And you know that. And I've been telling people too, do not give to the GOP because it's so broken. Your money would not go anywhere except for their social club, for their wine and dine. It's time that you give to a candidate that you believe in, and your money will go farther. Until the GOP is fixed and reformed, this coming election is vital. 2020, we will be electing those candidates who are running for Central Committee that actually care for the people in their county, in California, and actually going to get their butt working for the people and the Republican Party in California, and we will flip it red.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm down with that.
I was showing him your website when you were talking.
Oh, thank you. So please donate to help me continue this fight, okay? As a, Congress, a candidate for Congress, yet have you seen or hear any other Republican GOP candidate went in and spy on the Democrat ballot harvest training and get intel? No one. Okay? I'm yet not a congresswoman, but yet I got the balls to go there, okay? And get intel for us as a Republican and how to be proactive and how to secure our vote. So I need your help. Donate to help me fight for you and to be your voice, fight for your children, your family, your businesses, your property, your house that you live here in California. I mean, look at the Democrats' leadership for the last 45 years. They've done nothing for us. And the GOP, it's time that we rise up and do not be like the Democrats, okay? The GOP right now is just like the Democrat, but 10 years behind. Okay? As a delegate for the California GOP, I was so fed up. In the summer, we found out the platform for the GOP in California. We no longer have God in our platform. We no longer being counteractive to protect our children with the sex education. You know what the GOP said? That every children has the right to have the best education, but if the education, sexual education, is too explicit, the parents can opt them out. I go, do you even know the law in California that the Assembly floor and the Senate floor pass? No, the parents do not have the right to opt out of those sexualizing. What we should do as a GOP platform is to say those who want this teaching should opt into it. Not the majority of the parents have to work to make sure we opt out or do something or homeschool. I mean, what are the GOP platform and how are they fighting for our children and our family values?
Well, I'm totally with you on that. I think that one of the big problems that the party's having is a crisis of identity. They're not sure which way to go. They're not sure whether they should evolve into something different or if they should go back to some of their core fundamental beliefs. And I think there's a big schism happening, and people like yourself and Kelly and Greg are left out in the dust, and they kind of let them fend for themselves while they pick and choose favorites and decide that one candidate is going to be more viable than another. And just to be honest, I think that people are getting tired of it. And
Exactly.
I'm getting tired of it. And if they want to find out why we have the third party and not the second largest party, well, all they have to do is take the blinders off. It doesn't take a
Exactly.
super genius to realize what's going on around here.
Exactly.
And actually kind of cracks me up when I'm thinking about a lot of these individuals who kind of control the dice, and instead of doing things that are going to be beneficial for the long term, a lot of them are in for short-term gain. And as a young person, it really, really concerns me because I want to stay in California. All my friends, just like you were talking about earlier, and Kelly's was talking about she wanted to run because her brother moved. All my friends moved, and I was a STEM student, so it was really upsetting for me. All my friends are like, "Oh, guess what? I got a job at Google," and I was like, "Oh, sick!" Over Newport Beach? No, in Dallas. I
Yeah.
don't I don't get to see them anymore. What about them? You know what I mean? Kids my age, I'm not sure how much. I'm 27. I was born in 92, so I'm really feeling it. I know that my peers are feeling it, and even worse, my kids are gonna feel it. My grandkids are gonna feel it, and their kids are gonna feel it. And we can't do this anymore. It's time to
Exactly.
change it.
Exactly. You know, on that note, you mentioned earlier that the GOP is letting us fend for ourselves, and that's exactly, you nailed it on the head. So I can give an example and attest to it. You know, as the process for LA GOP completely than the OC GOP.
Mhm.
So I follow the process, okay, that they require each candidate to seek out endorsement.
Mhm.
So I did. I followed the process. And then the two other Republicans didn't care to seek and follow the process.
Mhm.
Their excuses was, oh, Amy is the favorite one. I'm like, what? That's your excuse? And then the other one say, oh, I got 10 signature, but I couldn't get the rest. And I go, are you kidding me? I'm a mother of 3 boys. I'm a mother, a wife, and a small business owner. I'm running around like my head cut off, and I got the over 25 signatures, and yet you guys make excuses, and you guys, what?
Yeah.
And yet they get a chance to present their case. And then not only that, when we heard all this accusation from one of the Republican candidate against me, all this sexual inappropriate touch. The California GOP has filed a lawsuit against him as well, and yet the Central Committee stood up and say, "Tonight we're moving forward not to endorse Amy Phan West." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You Central Committee just sat there on your fat butt, think you're high and mighty, that we need to kiss your butt."
We have the video of the guy that they will not endorse you against.
You can play that afterward, but let me finish. And then you basically telling me, as any candidate, GOP candidate, try to run for office, should never seek your endorsement,
Mhm.
should never need to follow the process, because at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. You're going to let us hang to dry,
Mhm.
and you're not going to move forward to stand with us or give us the resource to fight the Democrats in the
Mhm.
state of California. And I'm freaking sick
Yeah.
and tired of your high and mighty attitude. You've done nothing for the GOP candidate. It's time that you get the hell
Okay.
out of Central Committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, Mark, this issue needs to be addressed because I'm sick and tired, because everyone knows that. I talk to every candidate who's running. That is one thing that they say about the GOP, is that they let them hang to dry and they do not stand with them. That's how broken the GOP is. It's time that we get new Central Committee in this March 2020
Mhm.
election. And the thing is that we need a clean house
Mhm.
everywhere, you know? And for me, you know how horrible that feel when a candidate try to run for office and yet their own team, the GOP, let me hang to dry and throw me to the wolves, basically, to defend myself?
Mhm.
Do you know how frustrating and how lonely and how devastating that feel?
Well, it's funny because
Can we talk about something that good happened to you?
oh, did you
You
just
had a big endorsement recently. Can we talk about that?
oh positive.
Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is that people watching my race,
Mhm.
okay, and they see the injustice of my own party
Mhm.
doing to me. And then, Steve Bowen, Steve Bowen,
Yeah.
right? He came in to endorse me, and he's backing me up because you know
Nice.
why? I'm an outsider.
Yeah.
He understands what's going on. It's time that people like this needs to
He's
rise and make a difference.
that's a big endorsement. That's a huge
Exactly.
endorsement.
Yeah, and he's a Republican.
Really funny is that earlier before I came out here, I was talking to my parents on the phone, and I said that Steve Nett had endorsed you to my mom, and my mom was like, "He's like big time," and I was like,
Exactly.
"I'm
The
a
whole
big
family.
yeah, mom. I'm a big boy now. I mean, the people I know are getting endorsements from big time celebrities. It's crazy."
Exactly. I wasn't even expecting it, and I feel like,
Okay, cool. We're gonna people are looking at your screen right now.
mhm.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right there.
So,
So Steve,
um,
do you guys see that? Can you make
Stephen
it bigger?
Baldwin
Hmm.
recently endorsed Amy Phan West for Congress, California Congressional District 47.
Hmm. Can you
So
play that video?
I will try. I haven't tried to play
Am I
YouTube
linked
videos
right here?
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and to see if people can watch it.
right
We'll
there.
see if people can watch it. If someone at home, can you pull up your phone to see if we
The
haven't played
sound
YouTube
come out.
videos before, so this will be a new one for us. See if it goes through. I could try to do the.
I don't endorse many people politically, but when I meet people that come across my path and I believe it's no coincidence, well, then I go with my heart. I think that this family and this woman's heart is really a heart of servanthood. She really wants to create a better future in her area for her constituency. So, again, I'm Steve Baldwin. I hope you'll vote for Amy Phan, and I hope that you'll do what's right as best you can for you and your family's future.
Also, remember, March 3rd, 2020, come out and vote for your family and my family. Thank you. Bye.
Send me the.
Thank you.
You know, I think is really interesting too is like like what an amazing like how did that even happen? Like,
Well, this is the thing. I can say one thing. I believe
mhm.
there's however you call it, a higher
Mhm.
being,
Yeah.
God. I believe that there's a God that
Mhm.
watch over each of our lives,
Mhm.
and he watch and he see the injustice happen to us because we're his children,
Mhm.
and he's gonna make it right for us. So I feel like when my expectation was my party, the GOP, to back me up, to stand with me, but yet they did not. And I feel like it's God who came around and used other people to back me up and stand with me in this fight.
Mhm.
and God is good. So if I'm talking to you, you're running a race in California or any hard state, and you feel like you're the only one, remember you're not alone. Even though everyone forsake you or abandon you in a way because of their political interests, you're not alone. You are known in the eyes of God, and He watch over you, and He's there with you. He'll never leave you or forsake you. He will be your defender, and He will stand with you if everyone else fell. And that's what I learned in this race. And running for politics, it's a lonely gig, you know? But it's a blessing to know that God is with you and other people who see your hearts and standing with you in this fight. So for those who've been donating today, I really appreciate your support. That means a lot to me, my family, and my team, that you stand with me in this fight for California and for America and for our children. And that's the hope I will do in Congress, and that's my plan to do. And thank you so much for your support and standing with me in this and other candidates who are running. And that is an encouragement, you know?
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Sorry, I didn't
James.
mean to cry.
No,
Okay.
that was powerful. Thank you.
I cried last time. It's all right. When we were, when
I
we were
just want to
talking
be
about
honest,
your,
you know, and vulnerable because that's real, you know, and I think that's an issue that no other candidate is willing to be transparent about that. And I don't mind being transparent to my constituent and the American people because they need to see this, how broken it is. And they need to stand with great candidates to fight this.
Yeah, well, hey, that's why we all wanted to get each other on tonight because we're all kind of some outsiders who have been climbing some big uphill battles. And trust me, you're not the first person nor the last person to start crying on the campaign trail. I might have raised my hand a few times for pulling out my hair too much, you know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
I think until someone run for office, they won't understand the time consuming and the heartaches within this.
Yeah, you know, I mean, waking up at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, not going to bed till
you have a lot of comments,
1 in the
Amy.
morning, 2 in the morning.
Oh,
you
I
got
do.
a lot of comments.
Good. Yeah, she's amazing.
Let's
That's
put them
great.
up. Let's react to them.
Oh,
So that's
okay,
all of
let's
us.
do
Let's
it.
put us
Amy
all
has
up on the
some real
screen.
passion. I agree with that.
So you got a bunch of comments.
I do.
They're coming
Let me
in.
see.
She's the type of candidate that needs to be on the House floor. You know what I mean? Giving those impassioned
Okay, I'll
speeches.
go ahead and read the
Thank you.
comments. First time I've heard of Amy, and I love her. Energy and activism.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
Who's
James.
that?
Thanks, James.
James, it's on the big
James.
screen if you
Oh,
can see
Yeah,
over there.
you know, James,
Thank you, James.
Natasha.
James is actually one of Greg's supporters. And hey, James, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you,
let me
James.
I'll
I
get to the rest of these
appreciate that.
comments. I pray you win, Amy. God bless you. You're a fighter. I love that. Can't
Thank
vote for
you.
you. I'm in Greg's district, but if I was in your district, I would definitely vote for you. How about donating $5? Just $5, $10. God is good. Thank you for saying that, Amy. That's what Michelle. Oh, sorry. So you guys
Wow,
can see the
thank you,
comments on the
Michelle.
screen. Natasha says, "I pray you win. Bless you. You're a fighter." Okay, she already had that comment.
Thank you.
And a bunch of praying hands with you, Amy. And then James Webb says she has real passion.
Yeah, she does.
And then
Thank you, James.
we need real passion. So we got all those comments.
I agree.
I could keep talking, but Amy, you it's a tough act to follow. You gave a very moving speech.
I know.
So,
I was just sharing my heart, you know, and I just feel like I'm speaking out loud for the people and what I've experienced. And I know a lot of people experience the same thing. So I'm speaking out loud for the people. And I think right now, what the people need is transparency. And they want people to be real. You know, that's what they want. They see so much fake news, I guess you can say, right? So much fakeness. So it's time that we be real to the American people and the people in our district.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm getting pretty tired, so I think
Really?
I might call tonight personally. But
okay, well, you know what else we still have to do? Still got to take down all this equipment. Yeah. If you guys didn't understand, see all these lights. So here, I'm going to give you guys a view of everything. See the light behind me? That's one of the lights. That's okay. We don't have to throw it away. But eventually, we will get ourselves a studio soon, so we won't have to be mobile in my truck, taking it place to place.
Have a good night, Greg.
Oh, I got that right there. Hold on. There. Okay, there we are right there. So yeah, we'll start tearing down the equipment soon, and they're all these little tiny wires have to be wrapped up and everything. But I could talk a little longer if you like.
Yeah, I can talk
I
with
hope we're
you.
not upsetting. You're throwing me around now with all the cameras, some different angles. It's all right. So that on me now. Oh, we're back to normal. Okay. I think because I have two screens. I have the one like I should have two screens. So there's us. You can see us. So
Yeah, it's
I think we covered
perfect.
everything.
So
We still got 14
maybe
people
we can
watching us.
be personal on different issues.
Well, we
We
can
can
talk
ask
about
questions.
schools. That's you know, if
You know,
someone's over concerned, they'll be made fun of, a mom or something, that they're paranoid. Um, but when we did, risk analysis in the military,
mhm,
look at most likely and most deadly. In this case, most likely is getting hit by a car near a school. And
mm,
that did happen last year to my son's classmate. He was drug under a car. It was horrible. And I went to there 2 years before to the
mm,
school district. I said, this is a dangerous area. This is my
mhm,
expertise. It's pretty obvious. And they ignored it.
mm.
So I did it. I went and made a call to the city. And the city, they said, thanks. They got it done in 4 weeks. So it's
Nice.
little things like that.
Mm-hmm,
We do have very deadly things like active shooter, horrible
mm-hmm,
stuff.
yeah.
And it's all about, people say they ask the general question, how do you make schools safe?
Mm.
And it's really a very boring process of risk assessment, risk analysis. Here, I'll put the just on me there. You don't have to look.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
But it's mathematical risk calculations.
Mhm.
Identifying the risk, mitigating it, implementing controls, things like that.
Exactly.
It,
Well, being a sanctuary state does not help California for safety wise for our children. As a mother of three boys, that's my high priority. And yet, being a congresswoman, um, Amy, I am going to donate to you. And this is Natasha. Thank you so much. You are real and need to win. Thank you, Natasha, for your support. That means a lot. Thank you.
you're gonna make me cry. Stop that. Stop it. Let's talk about happy stuff. You're probably gonna win. I think. I think in that video. Let's play your video one last time for everyone before we go. I helped you with that. I'm very proud of that. And that thing has got what 20,000? How many thousands of views? I
I
know
don't
the
know,
first one's got
Lon.
like 5,000. You shared it again. That another 5,000 views, and then you put it in Vietnamese, and that was probably another
I think
5,000. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that
that's
really, yeah, that was like the first one I did too. That really, I was very proud of that
yeah.
work.
You did a good
Did Stephen
job.
Baldwin see that one?
I think he did.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think he did.
That's
And as he a producer, that's pretty good
well,
for
yeah,
us starters, right? And
yeah.
yeah.
Thankfully, the
That's good.
technology is there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And back to school, I think it's important for me, when I become a congresswoman, safety is key. I want to incentivize retired vets and retired police officer to retrain and volunteer at our school campuses. I mean,
well,
they would willingly volunteer to
Well,
protect our
there's all
children, you
sorts
know?
of security measures. I used to write security plans, like the
Mm,
detailed ones for military bases, hospitals, schools.
mhm,
And when I say anti-terrorism officers, what I did, it's not counterterrorism. Counterterrorism is like special forces, Delta, Navy SEALs. That is not. It's counterterrorism. They go out and kill the bad guys.
mhm,
Fortunately, those guys have trouble getting jobs when they
mhm,
get back.
mhm,
Mine, however, is very in need because it's a safety, security plan, and risk analysis.
mhm,
The book, do 100,000 page security plan,
mhm.
and I
That's
did one
awesome.
once. I rewrote the security plan for the Pacific region out of
Mhm,
Hawaii for all the bases, or the Army side, not all the bases, the Army.
mhm,
And those units from Alaska, Guam, Japan, Samoa, Japan, Korea, and the master plan. And then we trained our subordinate units to do their plans, and then we gave them resources. We exercised it. Um, so I guess where I'm going with it is, what are some real things that how to implement real measures, not just crazy things like give everybody a gun or take everyone's guns away. That's not the case. And I
exactly.
was when I was a commanding officer, I had 140 soldiers, I had a couple hundred guns, some tanks, all just like you think, right?
Mhm,
Out of 140, not all 140 were ever allowed to have guns at one time because they had something going on.
mhm,
Um, People ask, should teachers have guns? Well, that's a trick question. They already are, because we have something called police officers that are also teachers.
mhm, mhm.
Some police officers substitute teachers.
Yeah.
Boom. And
Yeah.
also, but what really works, you're talking about the cops and the
Mhm,
schools, is uniformed police officers actually a form of, you know, a deterrent criminal. They
mhm.
see the cops around
Exactly.
the kids. Like we love it. All the parents love it in my kids' schools. when we see the cops there in the morning passing out stickers and high-fiving,
Yeah,
all the parents love that. And I have
exactly.
a big issue. They don't do it enough. But
Exactly.
they have police officers in all the high schools, but not where they're most vulnerable, the K through 6.
Mhm.
And they have the really security plans are really awful.
Exactly.
And it's all a big show. And I'm not going to give preview my campaign. I'm going to come
Mhm.
out very hard. My campaign is all about helping everyone else with you,
Yeah.
trying to help you, Greg, Kelly, and everyone else.
Yeah.
But
And to answer that question, as we have high security for the banks, right?
yeah, printed money.
Money.
But they're
And yet
requesting the
our
children.
children is worth nothing
Well,
than a printed money.
Well, we're talking about our kids, and because we're both parents, little kids, right?
Yes,
Our little kids look like they
exactly.
could be brothers.
Exactly.
But I'm a manifestation of the frustration, anger in the schools.
Mhm.
Now, there's one school board member that I'm running against.
Mhm.
I've known who he was. I don't know him at all. He's never talked to me in 4.5 years. I sent multiple emails, phone calls. Never talked to me, even when I wasn't running years ago about serious issues. I don't know why he's even there. It's like an empty suit. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
But the other school board members I've become friends with, there's one that's pretty good. There's one I'm helping her husband.
Mhm.
He's on city council. Good guy. So yeah, it's and
So
these
this
damn
is the
kids.
thing. When you get your seat,
I'm gonna win.
of course. And then that's where we work together. That's how we're gonna make California better.
Yeah.
Is that Congress, federal, state level, and local office working together, fixing the homeless problem, safety for our children, fixing the educational system, fixing the healthcare issue. All of that we work side by side, and that's
Yeah.
how it is with federal.
know-
As you know, I don't have a say in education as much as you
Well,
do,
I know.
right?
Let me say this one thing. What's funny and ironic at the same time, if
Mhm.
any of those school board members
Mhm.
would have just talked to me, I would have never ran and I would have worked for them for free just
Mhm.
because my children are there.
Mhm.
They could
Yeah.
put me on a committee. I would have worked for them to get them reelected over and over again. So I want Paul Bacoda to hear that. I would have worked on your reelection campaign, but you never even talked to me.
Wow.
And I don't trust him with the safety of my children. I
Mhm.
just don't.
Mhm.
I was going to run against somebody in 2018, but we reconciled and I
Mhm.
supported him.
Mm.
I'm not trying out there to start a fight. I'm
Yeah.
out there just about the kids, just about my children. And
Exactly.
other school board members that don't, 4 to 5 don't have kids in the school board or
Mhm.
school district. That's an
Mhm.
issue. They don't know what's
Mhm.
going on, and they really
Exactly.
could care less.
Exactly.
What's their skin in the game? Here's
The
our
thing
little
is that
kids.
those elected officials, either local, state level, or federal, they need to be talking and working with
They don't.
other people and constituents.
They're
So in
lazy.
that way, exactly.
Everyone thinks it's a conspiracy theory, but it's not. It's a lot that 90% of the time they're just being lazy.
Yeah, and they're not getting the job done. So the thing is that there's no transparency. So this is my game plan. When I get the seat in the House in November 2020, my plan is, of course, we as Congress, we are in session 1 week and then off the next week, right? So I'll be flying back, and doing a live YouTube, so my constituent can get on, and I'll inform them on
I
different
will come to your
bills.
office and we'll have a mobile studio, not as crazy as this, but
Yeah, that'd be
I'll come to
great.
your
I would
office
love
and
that.
I'll set you up with a little studio in your office. Whenever time you want, you just press the button and
And
go
live
live.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or you can stream your office. So if
exactly.
constituents want to see what their representative doing, they just chat with you, and you'd be surprised. I know you. You're gonna have like an army supporting you, and you're probably gonna be this. We're probably gonna watch each other get old and gray. I'm gonna see you in 20 years with your hair all white. Maybe
Oh my goodness.
maybe 30 for you. You're
Gray,
yeah.
maybe gray hair.
I'm sure when we're eventually all silverbacks, really old, and and Cole over there, he's running for Congress, and we're super old and everything, and
But hey, at least we have a legacy that we can pass on to the next generation and that we can be proud of. A legacy that we did something for our children, our family in California and America. So that's what I am proud of and most proud of, even though, we're just normal, Joes, but yet we have a heart that we want to fight to keep America free and our children safe and our vet taken care of and addressing the issue. And I know as you being a vet, I have my dad is a vet as well, Vietnam vet that helps the American fight the Vietcong. So you guys have a special place in my heart, the veterans, and I want to address the issue. Even though you guys come back from the war, you guys are traumatized, PTSD with different issues. But the thing is that you guys have medicine for help already. But I want to incentivize more a accountability of where we can help you get back in society.
I have an issue I can bring to you once
Mm-hmm.
you're elected. This is an issue that Tulsi Gabbard was helping me. I know you ever heard of her?
Mm-hmm.
You heard of
Yeah,
her?
she's a
Well, she was
candidate
out of
for
Hawaii. I was
president.
stationed in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still trying to fix it. I
Mm,
had 4 of my soldiers wrongfully discharged while I was their commander,
mm,
and Lou Correa of the 46th Congressional District
mhm.
and Tulsi Gabbard were helping me. And actually, Katie Porter wasn't answering the phone. So I had literally, I had a conference call with Tulsi Gabbard's people. Tulsi Gabbard emailed me direct.
Mhm.
She had the time to email me. My school board member wouldn't. My own congressional Katie Porter would not. That's
Mm.
why I support like
See,
anybody.
that's why they need to be out of office.
Yeah, she would. She
If
wouldn't.
you're not doing your
Oh no,
job,
we
this is the
well,
thing.
once we had signatures from Tulsi Gabbard and Luke Correa's office leading it, and
Uh-huh.
Tulsi was helping.
Uh-huh.
Once they had signatures, both of them, it was kind of embarrassing to and then to Katie Porter. So
Uh-huh.
she ended up not only signing it with them, like I can show you the documents,
That's
and
awesome.
she ended up hiring a veteran. His name is Gage.
See, the thing
And
is that pressure,
yeah.
you know, to do the job. So the thing is that if you are going into public servant, which is elected official running for office, you are a public servant to your constituent, and that's your job. That's your calling. That's what you must do, is take care of your constituent and do the job for the people. The power belongs to the people, and they're the one that hiring you as a congresswoman, congressman, assembly, senate, city council, mayor, school board, whatever position you're running. They're hiring you. You got that job because they hire you on. So the power belongs to the people. We need to bring that back. And this is a challenge. I want to challenge everyone who's running for office and get the seat. If you don't do your job in whatever the term you have, 2 years before the next election or 4 years, then the people have every right to vote you out, and they should. They should. If you're not doing their job, my congressman who's been sitting for 7 years have not fixed our homeless problem in our district. And I honestly challenge him, when I get that seat in 2 years, I'm going to get that done in my district. I'm not talking about California, in my district. We're going to get that clean up. And if I don't, please vote me out. I want you guys to vote me out. And this is what I'm going to sign. And I challenge Lowenthal to sign onto it too, and challenge him to take care of
I
his
know.
job.
Well, first off, you're his worst nightmare. Once you make the primary, you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
We both know that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have more good comments. Amy is great. Everyone seems to like you. So
Oh,
anyway,
thank you, James.
and look at Melissa Snow says she loves her passion, raw, brutally honest, strong. We'll pray you win. Donated.
Aw,
Oh,
thank
that's
you,
awesome.
Melissa.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your support.
I'm
That
not sure if
means
you
a
can hear the
lot.
sound effects, but we're having applause sound effects. So we got another donation.
Thank you, Melissa.
Really appreciate it. I think you're going to be, because we know this intersectional thing where they always want to support immigrants and minorities. Well, we got to. It's like you're like if you were a Democrat, they'd have Obama supporting. They'd be like,
Oh yeah, not
it's all
only
about
that,
identity
they have
politics.
George Soros.
Yeah.
He's funding money to my
Yeah.
campaign if I was a Democrat.
Yeah, I'm going to be facing Planned Parenthood money. Do you know Planned Parenthood gives, if you support abortion, they Planned Parenthood will give you money to
I
run for a school
know
board
that.
because
It's
they want
crazy.
access to the kids. I got the emails from them for last election.
That's
But anyway,
sickening.
back to you.
Sickening.
I predict that you're going to make the primary, and then your friend Steven is going to help you win the general.
I think so too.
I think so.
And not only that, I think a lot of his friends and people are going to join in and help me win
I'll tell you,
the November election.
I grew up here in the U.S., and it was surreal for me to be part of Don Wagner's campaign from start to finish. I mean, I know the guy for years, but I joined his campaign in 2018 to help him get elected. And to be a part of coming from off the street, talking to people, getting elected, and taking over the democratic process was really fascinating to me. And he appointed me, commissioner for a section, which was really interesting. And then you're about to go through it. And so March 4th, everyone is going to want to be your best friend.
You know what? And I want a team, like on my team. I don't know if any candidate who are running have this expectation for their team, but I'll be vulnerable with everyone again. My team, day one, God has spoken to my heart that this is how I need to run it. I need to have a team of prayer warriors, and I do have that. And then I have a team that volunteers for my campaign, and I go, these are the requirements If you agree to this, then I'll be more than happy to have you on my team. If not, I totally understand. So my requirement is you must have integrity. You must have character and no gossiping, because when gossip about a person, you discredit someone's character before someone get to know them. That's unacceptable in my campaign. So if these are some qualities that match along with your belief, then I would love to have you on. If not, I totally understand. And every one of my volunteers, that I always have this hard conversation with them, and they say, "Yes, this is what I want." But within the team, of course, I only address 3 person about that issue, and that's amazing out of a lot of volunteers. And, my team, because people believe in what I'm doing to save California, to protect the 47th district, the port of Long Beach for trade, national security, and also the airport of Long Beach and the base of Los Alamitos. It's national security. We have to protect it and defend it. And so I'm doing this for the people, and they see that, and they're super supportive, and my team is supportive. And you know what? Who else best to take to DC except for those who are running with me on this race through thick and thin? You know what I mean?
Okay, so I got something else that's going to happen to you. You're going to win the primary. Then the 4th, the NRCC is going to come to you and say, okay, all of your campaign people are fired and these are our people. Then they're going to want to use the same failed strategies that lost them 3 seats in 2018. What are you going to say when they say that? When they come to you and they're like, you got to use our people. Because they're going to find out you made through once, because everyone likes a winner. As soon as you make that primary, it's all going to come at you. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to be, are you going to keep your team, that core team that got you across the finish line?
I love that sound that they'll jump in and help with money and everything, the national committee. But honestly, I don't think so.
Strings attached.
Yeah.
You have to do it their way.
Yeah.
Their people.
See, that's not going to happen. And the thing is that I don't think they're going to come, because they say I have to raise a certain amount, okay? And then they'll come in after the primary.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I blown this out of the left field and I win this primary, just new and fresh to this.
First off, you're going to win, and they are watching. Trust me.
Yeah, and you know what? If they're sick and tired of the same O, and they're okay with that, then don't choose me. But if they want change and something new, and I guess the new AOC with Bring, then choose me and back me up. But the thing is that it has to be on my term. I'm not bought out, okay? Number one. You know what? There's actually someone who already solicitate me by saying, we can give you over $100,000 if you do this for us when you get to Congress. And I go, I appreciate your thoughts, but no, thank you.
Pretty sure they're going to give more than that.
I know. This was just a one example. So what I'm saying is I already get, this introduced to me already at an early stage when I start the campaign. But I told them, no, thank you, because I don't want to be bought out or pressure into doing something or owe someone something. And that's how it should be. As those who are running to represent the people should not line up to pocket, for themselves. It's never that way. Our forefather didn't intend it that way. That's why they have term limits for the elected officials to go do their job. Once they're done, go back home, farm their land, take care of their family and their business. That's how it should be. So I will introduce term limits, okay, in Congress, because we need to. 10 years is plenty of time to do your job for the people. Okay. But anyways, back to the question. Did you just
quote the Constitution there?
Well, I kind of did.
Yeah, I think you did. I was like, that sounds really familiar.
I hope in Congress people understand the Constitution and know it.
I'm pretty sure like half of Congress hasn't even read the Constitution.
You know what the problem is? Is that even state of California, even a commissioner do not study up on the Constitution. You know that, right? None of them read over the Constitution. Yeah. They should. It starts from local, state, and federal. All of us need to read it, because that's what's holding this country strong and holding our freedom up.
How much longer you go? I still got to take everything down.
Oh,
and I wouldn't mind chatting with you off camera before I put all those down. But we did get another donation, so
that's great.
Let me just want to wrap it up and then give you the final words, and then we'll watch the outro. And stay tuned. Anyone that's watching, the last few people, I got something cool to show you in just a second. So thank you for joining us, and give Amy Phan West the last words, and then I'll cue the outro.
Awesome. So this is the thing. Join me. Join Amy Phan West train, legacy train. What would your legacy be in 2020? It's vital. You know, as the people coming to the voting booth this March 3rd, 2020, they either going to be voting for if what America means to me, socialism, or does it mean freedom? So if you agree that this country, America means freedom to us, then you must rise and join me in this fight, okay? Because when you fight with me, this is the legacy we will have in 2020. 10 years, 20 years, our generation will look back and say, what the hell happened in 2020? What would they see? What would be your legacy? I know what my legacy would be is that I fought with all I got for my children, for your children, for our family, in this great country that we live in and we have the privilege. So join me on this train. Remind yourself what kind of legacy you want. This is the legacy I want. Please help my campaign. Please support. Please call people in my district, 47th district, to vote for me, number one. And number two, donate to help me continue fighting for you.